Hi! If you like card making gadgets and tools, you're really going to enjoy this video as I show you how to make a simple and stunning Christmas card with the August Only Thoughtful Branches stamp set and Beautiful Branches Thinlits dies. I'm so glad you're joining me today. Welcome to StampingSmiles.com. I'm Shelley Godbee, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 15 years I've been teaching others how to create their own hand-stamped smiles. And we love our tools, and we're going to start with the Big Shot die cutting machine. Here are the Beautiful Branches Thinlits dies. Aren't they fabulous? Well, of course the die cut images are so much better than just looking at the die itself. I like to store my frameless, edgeless, and thinlits dies on a thin magnetic sheet. It keeps them organized and not just all falling loose in the bottom of the envelope, and it's just real easy to pick them off of there. So we're going to use this tree first. So I have here my Big Shot die cutting machine and my Big Shot platform. This is new to the 2016-2000 Stampin' Up! Catalog. There are a couple of things that are different about this. In here, underneath the covering, it's already shimmed with a thin piece of paper. And this is going to help give us even better cuts. And then we have the thin adapter die. And so we use this when we're using thinlits, edgelets, or framelits dies. What I like about that is instead of the tabs that I had to, get out of the way to be able to feed them through, I just have this sheet. So we need both of these. This is the start of our sandwich. And then I have here the precision base plate. All right, you need the precision base plate when using the intricate thinlits dies like our tree. All right, so this side goes down. We want to see this side. So here we're building our sandwich. And then I have here Dazzling Diamonds Glimmer Paper. Oh, love this stuff. Can you see that shimmer? All right, so then we have our paper and then our die. In the die, the edges that are raised up, well, those are the cutting edge. So we're going to set that down. And then to finish our sandwich, we have a cutting pad. So let's just feed all of this through. Okay, it's a little bit tight, but it needs to be for that intricate die, right? Sizzix said not to use the precision base plate with the magnetic platform. That is just a little bit too thick, okay, and it could warp your dies, and we certainly don't want that. So you know what, let's just go ahead and then go in reverse so we can get that through twice. So that'll help give us a really good die cut image. All right, so look, we can see we went through, but we're going to set this aside, and while we have this out, we've got one other thing to die cut. For this, I'm not going to use my precision base plate because I'm going to be die cutting with one of the birds. This is a framelits die. A framelit die is one that frames a stamped image. I'm not going to do a stamped image, but again, Sizzix said that if you use this with a framelit die with the precision base plate, you could warp the die. We don't want to do that because if you're stamping an image, you absolutely want to be able to center it, have it lay flat, right? So instead, we're going to use a cutting pad. I could use a magnetic platform. I'm looking for a flatter. There we go. I could use the magnetic platform with this, but I'm not going to stamp it first. I just want this in silhouette. So we're fine. We can use, the platform. All right, and so we've got our paper, our die, and then we need another cutting pad, and we're just going to feed that through and die cut this too. Now, had I stamped it and wanted to frame it, I absolutely would have gotten out my magnetic platform. And so there we have, this is popped out. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so that's the Big Shot part. Let's move on. For intricate dies like this, you absolutely want the Big Shot die brush that comes with this foam mat. Love this. So I just roll this over top. Actually, that precision base plate did such a good job that this is popping out. Look at that, all those little pieces. Isn't that fantastic? Sitting there poking, poking, poking. Because I had my paper piercing tool here just in case, but they're just falling out. I think I could pretty much just get them to keep doing that. Look at that. So that precision, the new platform helps that too. Okay, look at that. Ah, fantastic. And look at this paper. And this paper is a little bit thicker. you know, and so, you know, with all that glitter on it and everything else, okay, there we go. We had one that needed a little bit of encouragement, but it just popped out so easily. Let's get these. And then our bird, of course, just came out perfectly. Oh, look at our tree. Love, love, love this in the dazzling diamonds. Oh, wait till we add it to our card. The next tool we're going to use are the new sponge brayers to create a background. When you order them, you get 2 brayers and 4 sponge rollers, which is fantastic because on this card we're going to use 2 of them, and say I want to use a third color, well, I could just switch out the sponge roller. Okay, so what I have here is the Soft Sky Classic Stampin' Pad. We're going to push, flip, lock that lid into place, all right? And so we're going to come over here and roll it. We want to roll the color on. If you just go back and forth, you're getting just ink in that area. We want to roll it and what we call load it up. Okay, so let's load this up. And I have here Whisper White cardstock. And I'm going to fill the whole thing. Let me just turn this and start off the edge, because if you don't, you'll have heavy color at the one edge, and that's not attractive. I'm wanting the same color all over the whole back. Okay, so let's just fill this in. The whole thing won't be in this color, but I like giving it, this kind of like reminds me of watercoloring, giving it a wash. It's going to be easier to blend when this color is already there. All right, let's do just a little bit more. So I just keep, and then I notice too, the harder I roll, the deeper the color, you know, that I press down on it. So we can do that too. Okay, I want a little bit more right there. This is just fun, but there we go. I'm thinking we're doing really well. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this. Let's pull on that lip, flip it. There we go. You hear that click? It is locked, and then it won't dry out on us. So the next color I'm going to use is Marina Mist. Same thing, push, flip, lock that lid into place, and I have my second sponge brayer. So let's go ahead, and we're rolling, right, to load that up. Now, I don't want to do straight lines because I will have, it'll come down straight. So on purpose, we're going to go at this at different angles and fill this in. And it's just going to get prettier and prettier and prettier. Okay, let's get some more ink on here. I really like sponge brayers when doing something like this over the rubber, because the colors I always felt blended better. Okay, so now I just want to keep putting color down. I just want to make sure I didn't have that harsh straight line. Okay, and the deeper we get it, the prettier. You know, we're doing a Christmas card, so this is our sky. And I want it deeper at the top because, right, when you look at the sky, the color is lighter at the bottom and it gets darker as it goes up. So we want it heavier up here and then gradually getting lighter. And that's what we have down there, right? Oh, this is looking really good. Just one more because I like playing. Oh, fantastic. This is looking so, so good. All right. Oh, don't you love it? Now we're ready to use some of the stamps from the Thoughtful Branches stamp set. In the beginning, I told you that Thoughtful Branches and the Beautiful Branches Thinlits dies are available in August only. So August 2nd through August 31st, you can order these two in a bundle and save 10% on both. Fantastic. Okay, so here's our, look at our tree. Isn't that beautiful on here? We've got more to do. And so in this stamp is this fantastic hill. All right, so I want to put this on here and we're going to emboss. So I have here my embossing buddy, and but just in case this is wet, we've got our heat tool. And you know, this heat tool has 2 settings. The first one is for drying. Now dye ink dries pretty quickly, but we can do this just for added measure because right in here, you know, just dry that out and make sure, right? Okay. So we'll be using that in a second to emboss this. So then I have my embossing buddy. This is so because the ink sticks to, or the embossing powder sticks to what's wet. Well, we naturally have oil in our hands, and if we put lotion on or anything else, that'll cling too. And so that helps really reduce the powder sticking other than where you want it. And so we're going to use a pigment ink, and I have here my Versamark ink, and it's going to be quite unremarkable as you watch me stamp this. Let's ink this up. So I place it here so I know where I want. I want it nice and low. Okay, right about here. And let's just stamp straight up and down. Great. It always does that. So like I said, unremarkable, nothing for you to see yet. But I have here my white Stampin' Emboss powder and a paper plate to catch it. And so let's sprinkle this on. If you turn it in the light, you could see it, but I just love this part when it clings. Ah, it clings to it just perfectly to that image. All right, it's going to look a lot better once we emboss it. So let's bring back that heat tool, and this time we're going to put it on the second setting, and that is going to melt this embossing powder. And so what you do, you hold it until you see it. When it's powdery, there we go, it starts getting all shiny. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, holding the light like this, I can see I've done a really good job. Okay, so that's done. Now, after you do it, go ahead and tilt it in the light, because if you see anything powdery, you can go back and finish melting it. Okay, liking this. Oh, and see, there's a little break in there, and that's where I want my tree to go, to cover up that little break. Yay. And I just can hardly get over how much I love this. Isn't that beautiful against the blues? Okay, so now we have the Night of Navy Classic Stampin' Pad, and this set didn't come with a Christmas greeting. So I got out my Christmas greeting from the Wondrous Wreath stamp set. Happy, wonderful Christmas. So let's go ahead with this. What do? Right? Push, flip, lock that into place. And let's stamp this up. Ink it up. Stamp it up. Let's ink it up, and let's come over here, and because I don't want to be on the embossing powder, but I've got plenty of room over here. And let's stamp. Oh, beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's go ahead and close this. And now I'm going to bring back the Marina Mist Classic Stampin' Pad. Push, flip, lock that into place. We're going to add some of these trees in the background. My girlfriend she's from Texas, and she calls trees without leaves naked trees. So that's always in my head. I want these across the background. Okay, but I don't want the trunks quite as long. So here's what we're going to do. I have just a piece of paper from the printer, and let's go ahead and just tear this. We're not looking for anything, perfect. And let's set this across here. Okay, so let's ink this up and go ahead. I want to go off the edge. Okay, so let's move that. This serves a couple purposes. Let's come down. I don't have to be concerned. Okay, I was up a little bit too high with my paper. This is so I don't have to be concerned about getting stems into my greeting. But the stems were a little bit long, not stems, hello, trunks, were a little bit longer than I wanted. Isn't that, I like that a lot better, shorter. And what was interesting is because as it got down into the light color, they look really dark compared to the ones up in the darker color. So this solved two problems. An easy, easy solution. So let's add some more. Okay, and we're over here, just a little bit more, and I like going off the edge. Then it looks seamless. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gracious. We're going to use the fine tip glue pen to adhere our tree to the card. This is perfect. Look at this fine tip, appropriately named for applying the glue. All right, so let's turn this over. I mean, look at all that tiny little detail that we have, and we'll press gently, because you can get this to come out, a lot. We don't need a lot. We just need a thin line, and we don't have to go over every branch, but if I can get the tips, that would be ideal. Okay. Such a nice adhesive. Okay. Whoever thought of this was just really like this. Okay. Thinking we're doing pretty well. I think I've got most of my tips. Okay. And here we go. Remember, there's that little break. And so, you know, I'd like to cover that if I can, and that's how I positioned everything so that I could. Look at that. Oh my goodness. We're not done. The finishing touch is going to have to wait till the very end. Not because I'm trying to be mysterious, it's just going to make things easier. Okay. Let's see. There we go. That's sticking really well. And remember our bird? Aha! He's in Night and Navy. And I have here mini glue dots. You know, this is, you know, it's a rough edge, so I'm not convinced that it would stay on well with fast fuse. It might, but this is awful little, so look how easy it is to add a glue dot. So I peeled these back so I can see the dots, the glue dots in the light, press the cardstock onto there. There we go. So now we have one. And let's get him in the tree. Now there is a stamp to coordinate with him, but I just liked it in silhouette for this one. Okay. This card, isn't this card easy? But it's just so much fun using all these tools. We've got the Big Shot and the embossing and the sponge brayers. I love our tools. Okay, so I have here the Fast Fuse adhesive. I'm putting my finger where these ridges are. Let's turn this over, and we're going to slide about 1 inch is great. Now we're going to slide off to finish it. Once to the right, then once to the left. Okay, let me show you why. Because that's going to keep the adhesive in the center of the roller. Very nice. So let's go ahead and put this on here. You know what, I have a piece of paper because the Night and Navy is dark against my black, right? My black mat. Okay, so it'll make it easier for me to see for matting it as well too. I have to get this apart. That Fast Fuse adhesive is a great adhesive. So I definitely want this centered on here. Don't you love how the Night and Navy is just pulling everything together? It lets our blues, and it's like we have 3 shades of blue because we have the Soft Sky at the bottom and then a lighter version, you know, of the two combined, and then the Marina Mist deeper at the top. Love this. Okay, here's the finishing touch. We have Dazzling Diamonds glitter. Well, if our tree is glittery, right, so does our snow need to be on the ground as well as on. So again, I'm using the fine tip glue pen to put down a thin line of glue right over top of what we just embossed. Dazzling Diamonds glitter was on my very first order, oh gracious, probably 17, 18 years ago. Love this stuff. All right, so here, there's that fine needle in there. Make sure you get it down into here to put away, okay? And that'll keep that needle from, that fine tip needle from clogging up. So now let's get our Dazzling Diamonds glitter. And I would have done this before attaching it, and you can do that at home, but in the video it takes a little bit of time for this glue to dry, and I didn't want to turn it over and just have a mess everywhere. So I sprinkled that on. Let's tap that off, and look. So now our snowy little grass and hill coordinates with our tree. Wasn't this easy to make? And just simply stunning. Card making gadgets and tools just make card making that much more fun. And if you'd like to make my Thoughtful Branches Christmas card, well remember, the Thoughtful Branches stamp set and the coordinating Beautiful Branches Thinlits dies, they're available to order only August 2nd through August 31st, 2016 in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. Now, Stampin' Up! Hopes to have enough for the full month, but they are available to order only while supplies last. And be sure to use the special bundle price so you can save 10% on both. I'll have all the supplies used to make my Thoughtful Branches Christmas card underneath the video. So mark your calendar for August 2nd and get on over to my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com, to order this fantastic set. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.